Hi, happy Wednesday, everyone. Excited about this conversation we're going to have this evening. I made a post online. Everybody's a coach now, and I wanted to discuss it with you all because maybe you have felt that way that you see people pop up and they are coaches, and that because of that, you're almost pushing back from that description, from that title, from wanting any association with that. I thought I had to come on here and talk about that. Hey, good to see my Instagram people on here. Those of you who are on Facebook, good to see you all on. And those of you who are going to watch this later on, you're watching this maybe on YouTube. Let's have a discussion this evening. What's going on? Doc, Shauna K, good to see you on this evening. Listen, maybe you've heard that before. If you have, put yes in the comments. Even if you're watching the replay and you've heard that term, people call themselves a coach, and you actually have this pushback reaction. Like, you know what? I don't want that title because everyone's calling themselves that. And I don't want to be lumped in with all the people who I see online in spaces with the title. And maybe there's some negative association with that. I thought I would come on here this evening for a really important reason to talk about that, because I think this is something that we talk about in quiet circles on the side. And because of my title, I'm a coach, I think I need to talk about this, right? Like, not to defend myself, but to actually get into the conversation and contribute to the conversation. So when people say everyone's a coach, it's not a compliment. It's not something we say as a way of this is such a great thing. We usually mean this is played out, this is oversaturated. Like, we think people aren't serious when they call themselves a coach. But what if that statement, everybody's a coach now, is actually true and it's actually possible, right? In the best way possible. So I want to talk about that. Maybe there is some truth to that statement. Everyone can be a coach, because here's the truth. Not only are we saying everyone is a coach now, everyone has been coached by someone, and everyone needs coaching, right? Like, there is this human phenomenon that we need this thing called coaching to grow. I was sitting down with a friend of mine. He is an educator. He is an educator not just at the school level, but at the district level. And he was talking about one of the levels of leadership that people need to grow into is this level called coaching. Because for a lot of leaders, what is missing for a lot of us is we know how to manage, we know how to do, but we don't know how to empower others to do the things that we're doing. And so not only do I believe that there is a level that everyone needs a coach, and maybe that's what I want us to first agree on. Everyone needs a coach, and you need more than one coach for different areas of your life. You might need a coach in the area of your relationships, and you might need a coach in the area of your health, and you might need a coach for your finances, and you might need a coach for your career. But here is what I believe. Let's, before we get to talking about the statement, everyone is a coach now, everyone needs a coach, and we all need more than one to grow in different areas of our lives. Now, you might be thinking, everybody, Kimon, are you saying everybody needs to be coaching somebody? But I want to just really just talk about this phrase and how the truth, there's some more truth to the statement about everyone is a coach. Let me just kind of talk about that. Now, um, when we talk about everyone's a coach, I think a lot of us are reacting to the fact that people are popping up online with no structure, no results, and no real transformation. And it's really people who take something that can be positive and use it in a negative way. Maybe they are taking advantage of others. They are just using it to get over on others. And what I don't want us to do is take what someone's abuse of something to now cause us to throw the whole thing out. So the abuse of the thing should not cause us to throw the whole thing out because of someone's use of it in the wrong way. I remember I was in a program, I was teaching others, I was coaching others, and in the group, this gentleman, Ase Daniels, put this post, and he said, someone right now is doing something the wrong way with no plans to do it the right way, and you are talking yourself out of doing it, even though you know how to do it the right way. So maybe it is speaking. You see someone and they're not doing it the right way, and they have no plans to correct what they're doing. But because they're doing it wrong, you're almost saying, "Oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be associated with them." And I hope you're seeing the just how disconnected that is. Someone doing something the wrong way is stopping you that you know how to do it right from actually stepping up and doing the thing. And that's, I think, where a lot of us we might take this the wrong way. If someone is coaching and you don't think they're doing it right, and you don't see them having results, and you don't see them having the structure, and you don't see them really having a heart for others, their abuse of the thing should not stop you from actually leaning into something that you can do well, that you have the right heart for, you have the right motives for, you have the right way of doing it. Their abuse of it should not stop you from using it in the right way. So here's what I want you to also understand. Coaching is not a trend. It might seem like that, but it's a timeless principle, right? I want you to stay with me. Coaching might seem trendy right now because that's what we call it now, but it's not a trend. It's a timeless principle. Hey, appreciate it. See, some of y'all are coming on here. Here's what I want you to understand. It's a timeless trend. And here's what I mean by that. Coaching is, here's some of the words we've used in the past. It's discipleship, it's mentorship, it's leadership. Those things aren't new things. Those things are timeless things that we understand. In fact, it's what Jesus did with his disciples. He walked with them, he developed them, he stretched them, he prepared them to carry the mission forward. So his whole role over the 3.5 years with these 12 disciples was to pour as much of his teaching, as much of his thought, as much of his, just the way of living into them, so that when he left, they could do greater works. They could carry things on. Listen, if you're just joining in now, we're having a discussion about this concept where people say everybody's a coach now, and it's such a negative term. But one of the things we're establishing is everyone needs coaching, and the abuse of it by some should not stop those of us who have a genuine heart, who have an understanding of people, who have something to bring to the table from doing it. So I'm saying coaching is a timeless principle. It's something that's been around. And even Jesus, right, in his pouring into his disciples, that was his method of coaching. So when people roll their eyes and say things like everybody's a coach now, I smile at that because they're actually describing, hear me now, how God designed growth to happen with us as human beings. Here's the truth. Everyone is a coach, right? So you came on here, you just watched me say this. Everyone is a coach. That's the way you're designed. You've poured into someone before. You've poured into a coworker. Maybe you've poured into a family member. Maybe you've poured into another student, a friend. In fact, let me ask you this. Has anyone ever asked you, can I pick your brain on this particular topic? There is something that you're good at, and someone says to you, can I pick your brain on this real quick? Just put a yes in the comments. Has anyone ever said to you, can I pick your brain on this? You know how to. Maybe it's something with parenting a child, and someone says to you, can you tell me how you do this? I want to pick your brain on that. And you poured out of your knowledge and your expertise and your experiences into them. Maybe it is you were able to navigate your career a certain way, and someone else is looking at that career and saying, hey, can I pick your brain on how you did this in your job? And you said, hey, sure. And you met with them, and maybe you met with them over and over again, and you guided them, and maybe you called it mentorship, but you coached them. And that's what I want to just tell you. If you have allowed people to pick your brain, if you have walked with people on a particular topic that you were an expert in or had expertise in, if you've poured out of your life experience into someone, you, my friend, have coached someone. So if you are trying to push away from the label, that's fine. You're doing the work of coaching. And so coaching is not just reserved for business owners. It's how development happens. If you've shared advice, encouragement, perspective, that's coaching. And we're all coached in areas of weakness, and then we coach others from our areas of strength. So what happens for me is I may have an area of weakness, as a man, as a husband, as a father. I go to someone else and they walk alongside me. They coach me along the way. They give me an opportunity for instruction. There's feedback. There's correction. There is accountability. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? And because of those things that go into it, instruction, feedback, correction, accountability, there's growth. And what might have started as an area of weakness becomes an area where I'm stronger in. Well, the way we're designed is because I was developed in that area, I'm now able to develop someone else and to coach someone else. So something that might have started as an area of weakness, I can become better at it because I've been coached with it. And so that's the principle I want to just get to you. We may not have called it coaching, but you have been involved either on the receiving end or on the giving end. And you probably have done both in helping to coach someone in their development. And that's what I want us to understand about life. You've been coached before, even if you didn't give it that label, right? A pastor coaching you on your faith, a mentor coaching you on your mindset, a manager coaching you on your leadership, a trainer coaching you on your health. You have received coaching before. If that makes sense, just put yes in the comment. You have been coached by someone in some area of your life before. Someone helped walk you through something in an area that you wanted to grow in. And I think for a lot of us, we discount the coaching that we do for others. And so you may have a student that you're working with and you are mentoring them and you've coached them to develop. And here's what's so crazy. What happens for us, the areas that we receive coaching and we really enjoy that coaching, that actually becomes something that we desire now to pour back into others. So it's not unlikely that someone, maybe there's a teacher who made an impact on you, and because of that, you want to go back and help other students because of their coaching. You want to go pass that along. Maybe it's an area of health. It was a struggle for you. You overcame something, and now you want to reach back to help others. And that's what I find for a lot of people. There's an aha moment for us that we recognize. One, I have received coaching, and two, I have been coaching. I was doing a presentation a while back in Atlanta for some gentlemen. They were there talking about how to win in life and win in different areas. And as I was sharing about this whole idea of us coaching others, one gentleman said, you know what? I thought my business was only about this particular thing that I'm doing. But what I realize is there are people who've been coming to me over and over, asking me, how did you do the thing that you are making your money in? And I have been giving them the knowledge, not just a static, let me just give you the conversation and I'm gone. I'm actually following up with them. They have my number. I'm tracking along the way. I'm helping them to troubleshoot when they're making decisions. And by the end, they are able to now do the thing that I'm doing. So I'm basically replicating myself, my method, my mindset, however I'm doing it. I'm replicating it in other people. And what I didn't realize, this is what he said, is I've been coaching people all along. Now, here is the light bulb moment. He's been coaching people to do something that he uses to make money so they can go make money. And so the only thing missing in the equation when we were talking is he was helping people to level up with their finances and their business, but he was never charging them for it. And that's what I find for a lot of us. We have been coaching people on something, but we never actually put a value on our time. Yeah, we'll value our thing that we make, right? But we don't value the time that we take in order to pour into someone else so that they can build your expertise, they can build your knowledge. And really, that's one of the things that I realize for a lot of people. Even if you are a service-based provider, when you provide that service, sometimes people are asking you, hey, help me to figure out how to keep this thing running the way it's running now, and you coach them. You write a book. You put the book out there, people are asking you for follow-up conversation. You speak on a stage, people are saying to you after you get off, hey, I need to talk to you. I need to know, how do I live this out? How do I apply this to my team? How do I apply this with what I'm doing? And what you end up doing is you end up coaching them. And a lot of us are doing it for free. So here is where really what I'm saying. Everybody's a coach? Yes. Let's just settle the discussion. So those who are saying it, guilty as charged. Now, is everyone getting results for people? That's a different conversation. Is everyone building their business ethically so that the people that they work with are getting what they need from the transactions? That's not happening. And that's one of the reasons why I am passionate about developing coaches who have a heart for people. Because if you have a heart for people, you can't sleep. You will not be content just getting a transaction and not helping people experience a transformation. And by the way, if you're coaching people, understand that when people pay, they pay attention. You actually get better results when you get people to pay. But here's what I really want to say to you. I believe that more of us have knowledge and expertise and experiences that we're sitting on, that we have been in a sort of like ad hoc, not very structured way coaching people, but we're never going to see the results that we could really see and the impact that we can see, and honestly, the income that we really deserve, unless we structure it in the right way so that we can build out a coaching business. And that's why next week, my good friend, my brother, whose birthday is today, Dr. Myron Edmonds, and I are coming together to talk about how to build a coaching business. Now, if you know his story at all, he had, as we talked about, areas of weakness. He received coaching. Now, all of that wasn't structured in terms of like a pay, but it was mentorship. He received coaching in areas of weakness. And as he grew, he recognized there were others who had the weaknesses and the challenges that he faced before that he now wanted to pour back into them. Now, capacity is an issue. He could not do it all with a pastorate, family, being a United States chaplain. So he had to figure out a way to make this work where he could work in a one-to-many manner. And so he did that. We worked together in our work creating the Men's Winning Circle that's impacted thousands of men and their families now, and has allowed him to do that full time. So that's not just his passion, it's the way he provides for his family. And if you have seen him, experienced him at all, you know that he is making a difference, but it's also making income. And so we're pulling back the hood, we're opening things up and showing you how do you build a six-figure coaching business using what you already have, with the gifts that you have, the talents you have, the expertise you have. And so next week, it's the first part of our 3-part Monetize Your Ministry Challenge. So next week, Myron and I will be coaching how to build a 6-figure coaching business. And you want to sign up for that. But we realize as a part of this whole thing, some of you need to now package that same knowledge and write a book. And so the week after that, Athena Shack and myself, she's a publisher, published hundreds of books, helped hundreds of authors to get their books published. She's going to help you learn how to build and to write your book. And then finally, you want to go out and speak about it. And then Pierre Quinn and myself, the 3rd part of the challenge, will be talking about how to speak and build a speaking business. So all 3 parts come together. You can choose to do all 3 tracks. You can choose to do 1. You can choose to do 2. But you got to do something, because 2 reasons. 1, this year is getting ready to close. We're in the 4th quarter of this year. And a lot of us, we wrote some stuff down. We have some ideas. There's some things we've been sitting on. And here's what I know about you. You've been building someone else's dream, someone else's business, someone else's legacy. And it's time for you to build something of your own. And one of the best ways I know is through building a coaching business, because it's a way that you are using what you already have. So I want to encourage you, 1, to take some action before the end of this year on the thing that you promised yourself at the beginning of this year. But 2, it also is a great practice to start getting ready for 2026, right? Let's get a jump start on all the things we're going to say to ourselves. I want to build my thing. I want to grow my business. I want to start my business. Let's start it now. So here's the link. Go to monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. That's monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. Again, next week, Myron and I, we're going to open up the hood. No questions will be off limits. How do we build a 6-figure coaching business almost seven-figure coaching business that allows you to be full-time doing the thing that you're passionate about. That's what we're going to be talking about. You want to go to monetizeyourministrychallenge.com and register. And then don't just register for the coaching. Get the track on writing, get that book done, get that next book done, get the track on speaking so you learn how to take that message out into the marketplace. But because you're watching me tonight is Wednesday, today's Myron's birthday, the four of us said we're going to do something special. If you go to monetizeyourministrychallenge.com and put in the coupon code half off, you can register for any track or bundle them and get all three, do VIP on all three, and if you do VIP on all three and put half off, you'll get everything, 3 weeks, 3 different tracks for less than $100. That's 4 six-figure coaches. You'll be able to get the book project going, learn how to get your 5K speaking gigs, and build a 6-figure business, all for less than $100. So let me reiterate for those who are just coming on. Yes, everybody's calling themselves a coach. You know why? Because everyone has been coached and everyone has been given the ability to pour back into others. There's some things that I receive coaching from my children on. They help guide me. I remember I had to do a talk and I called my daughter, who is my business coach. She is 19 years old now. And I was like, I have to give this talk. And she gave me my pep talk, and she helps to guide me in different areas. The point I'm making is now we need to organize that coaching you're doing so that you can begin having the transactions and helping people to experience the transformation that they need. So if you're interested, that link is right there, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. It's monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. And use the coupon code today, half off. Now, if you are watching this after Wednesday at midnight and the coupon code doesn't work, that's okay. You'll still get more than, let's say, 5 times the value you pay for anything in this challenge if you sign up even without the coupon code. All right, listen, I want to wish you all a great rest of your evening. And you have something that God has given you that you know how to do. This is what I will say to you. There's something you do, and you may be thinking to yourself, I'm a doer. I do this thing. Yes. Maybe you are good in the arts, but now you can actually transition and take the thing that comes so easy to you, so naturally to you, that people keep asking, how do you do that? And literally package it in a way that you can now give them the instruction, help them to increase in the area that you are good at, and then they can now level up in that area. And I want to help you do that. We want to help you do that. Go to monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. And if you do this before Wednesday at midnight, use the coupon code half off. And we will see you next week. We'll see you the week after. We'll see you the week after that. Here's the image. Here's the 4 of us. Myron Edmonds, amazing speaker, coach, author. Pierre Quinn, amazing speaker, coach, author. And Athena Shack, amazing speaker, coach, author. And there's me, speaker, coach, author. All right, so 4 of us will be riding with you for these next 3 weeks. And you can pick 1 week if it works for you, 2 weeks if that works for you. But we want to see you and we want to help you increase your income and your impact. All right, y'all?